So welcome to Mindset with Namisha. I'm so grateful for you joining me and showing up for this class. Um, and I guess when I was thinking about putting this together, I was really thinking that this type of topic, you are likely to have some insights and reflections. You're going to have some thoughts. You're going to feel hopefully inspired and energized. And my invitation to you is for you to pay attention to those moments, to those feelings. Pay attention to your learning and your growth and anything that comes up for you because it's gold. So if you're anything like me, I need to write things down in order to remember it. So grab a pen and paper, write down whatever comes up for you so that you don't lose your valuable insights. Because as I say, the next half hour, 45 minutes or so, you will shift your thinking. And it's so important that you capture what you pick up today and what you experience so that you've got it to come back to. And also, I often say that I'm an over deliverer. And so I'm going to give you quite a lot to think about and take away. So take notes, highlight, scribbles, do whatever works for you. Just capture your growth. And like if you're up for it, then better still, I would love to hear your feedback. If you're on Instagram, you can post it and you can tag me at namisha.patel-owen. You can share your growth, your insights, and hopefully inspire others to do mindset work too, because everyone knows it's important, but it's not something that we often find ourselves doing because there's so many other things to be doing. So do share and tag me. I would love to share it on my feed with my audience, and I would love to give you a shout out for being here so that others get to learn from you and also celebrate with you. So a quick intro on me. I think you do know me, but I'll just do a recap if I may. Um, and yeah, super grateful for you being here. First of all, it really feels so warm for me to be here and with you after some time out. But if this is your first interaction with me, it's so nice to meet you. And just as a reminder, I am a mindset coach at Mindset with Namisha and the creator of Be the Energy program, which is my new program. Essentially, I help spiritual women on a path of kind of self-discovery, right? Mastering yourself and what's going on the inside. And I'm all about bringing kind of positivity and purpose and progress into their lives, into our lives. Essentially, we focus on dropping what I call the mind drama. So that's all the thoughts and the feelings that are swirling around our head and deep in our bodies. And actually, living their dharma. Dharma is finding and fueling their soul's purpose. So we focus on dropping the mind drama and living the dharma, which I'm all about. A bit about me. I spent 18 years in corporate, doing my best, climbing the corporate ladder. And then one day I got sick, nothing to do with work, incidentally, but I describe it as a gift wrapped in sandpaper because I was forced to slow down and focus on me, focus on my family, my husband, and my two kiddos who were 1 and 5 back then. And really just focus on what was important to me. And I immersed myself in all the goodness to fuel my mind, body, and soul, because for the first time, I found myself with time sat at my kitchen table. And so I connected with my kind of spiritual nature. I found mantra meditation, and I really tuned into the wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the key Vedic scriptures, which is also known as a guidebook for life. And as I kind of delved into that, which took some time, I'll be honest with you, but my focus honed in on one particular text. And it read, "One must deliver himself with the help of the mind and not degrade himself. The mind is a friend of the conditioned soul and also his enemy too." And that is a particular text where in the Gita, Lord Krishna, who shares all life's wisdom, shares with Arjuna, who he's having a conversation with. And he really talks about managing the mind and the importance of managing the mind. And so this is where my mindset focus grew. And firstly, it became about me and getting myself better because the doctors had basically given up on me. And for someone my stature, my age, whatever well-being, I should just get better from a cocktail of 3 different viruses, which is what I had back then. And so I'm on a mission to help spiritual women manage their mind to showcase the best of who they truly are, and for them to be doing what they love and doing that more and doing that with ease. So today we're talking about mindset of abundance, and I'm sharing my 5 simple and actually practical ways to adopt an abundance mindset. And I share this from a place of being able to adopt this kind of no matter where you're at, no matter where you find yourself, because accessing this, especially in the moments where we are challenged, is gold. But let me start by asking you a question. What is abundance? What is abundance? Spend a minute just thinking about that and capture whatever comes to you in this moment. And feel free to share in the chat as well. What is abundance? Whatever comes to you, right? It's just a couple of words, a sentence. What is abundance? And I have to say, for me, it's not a word or a feeling that I had come across until a few years ago. It's just not a word we used in corporate. And, you know, I spent my life there predominantly, same company for 18 years. And, you know, it's nothing to do with corporate. It's just not a word that I myself had experienced or come across or certainly used. But for me, having kind of connected with this beautiful work, for me, abundance is kind of, I describe it as having and being full and, you know, being plentiful. And it's being that in the here and now. Right. So no matter where the here and now is, no matter what we're experiencing, no matter what's going on, right? It's about being present and grateful for what is. That's kind of how I see abundance. It's not this kind of utopia, you know, kind of rainbows and daisies and magical place. And that's abundance. It's actually being in the present moment and being grateful for what is as it is in the here and now. What's abundance for you? What came up for you? Pop it in the chat. I'd love to hear it. And so abundance is seeing the goodness in everything, right? So in a nutshell, that's how I see it. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it talks about it as the mode of goodness, and it's a way of operating. And for us as humans, a way of operating and a mindset to adopt in the form of goodness. And so abundance is looking for the positive in the negative. And we're all experiencing some of that, but it's seeing those positive things, even if they're few and far between. It's really allowing yourself to see it. It's looking for the lightness in the darkness. And I've certainly experienced some personal stuff recently. And finding abundance is really trying to see some of that lighter, brighter elements to what is happening in front of you that perhaps feels so painful and so hard, and so unwanted. It's almost like you just want to escape, but actually you're able to see the lightness. Abundance is looking for the growth in the weeds. Certainly since being off again, I really connected with nature, and I'm sure that's something you can resonate with. And even in the weeds, right, there is growth. Yes, our eyes are drawn to the beautiful flowers and the blossoms soon to be coming, but actually you can also see the growth in the weeds. You can see the dandelions, right? You can see the little daisies and the buttercups and the sunflowers and all the goodness in the weeds as well. And abundance is being full of life. Being full of life. And I saw something recently, which was a really good example of this, which was the Dead Sea, which has got no life because of the amount of salt in it and the minerals in it, that it just doesn't allow for any life form, which is why it's called the Dead Sea. And then I believe there's the Sea of Galilee, I believe, and that, as we know it, is full of life. It's got all the creatures, all the sea life, all the plants and all the growth. And you can just see the difference where literally you go from the Dead Sea to the Sea of Galilee, which incidentally, I believe are joined as well. So abundance is being full of life. It's being the seas, being the weeds, being all the things that bring all the life. And it's feeling into that, right? It's allowing yourself, allowing your body, allowing your brain to feel into the positive in the negative, into the lightness in the darkness, into the growth in the weeds, and being full of life. And it's worth saying, actually, that the opposite of abundance, as I see it, is scarcity or lack, right? And it's fair to say we're all human and our brains are wired for safety and protection. And, they often steer us in this, lack mindset and lack space, like really quite innocently, but creating like these, what I call thought errors, right? Creating the thinking that takes us away from abundance. And some of the common thoughts that some of my clients come with is, I'm not good enough, right? That is a lack mindset. And that's just the thought that our brain offers us, right? And another might be something like seeing a particular situation as, this is so bad. This is so wrong, right? This is so hard. And you kind of can get into that quite quickly. And our brains take us there. Totally normal. It happens on a daily basis, on the small things and the big things, right? And another one, actually, one of my clients shared was, I don't know what I'm doing. And I have to admit, right, it came up for me too earlier this week. And you just go to this place of lack. You're like, I just don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, that's not true. But our brains take us there, right? And that's why it's so important to remember and cultivate this mindset of abundance. So how do we adopt and how do we live this mindset of abundance? Here's my 5 simple and practical ways. And to make it easy, I'm sharing this as an acronym and I will write it up. And the acronym makes it easy for you to remember because I'm all about ease. So that is AGILE. AGILE. So the first step is A for appreciation. Intentionally appreciating things you have right now in front of you. Right? And going back to what I said earlier about seeing the positive in the negative, seeing the lightness in the darkness, it's actually appreciating what you do have, what you do know, right? What you have learned already, what you do have access to. Because our brain will want to focus on what we don't know and how far we've still got to go and what we don't know yet and how hard it is. So it's actually appreciating and intentionally appreciating what you do know, what you do have, what you have learned, how far you have come. And also, it is actually appreciating some of the unwanted as well, right? So you have to find appreciation in your life for what is. And it's looking for those things, right? And for me, I'll ask myself exactly that question. You know, what can I appreciate that's in front of me? And just write down 3 things, write down 5 things. Number 2, and you've heard it already, is goodness. It's seeing the goodness and the growth in everything. Right? And I say that, and this beautiful sun is just radiating on me, which is so lovely. So it's really allowing your brain to see the goodness, see the growth in you, in what's in front of you, and stop focusing on the negative, right? Because actually, for me, I like to see it almost, and I've trained myself to see it as there's almost like no such thing as negative, right? There's goodness in everything if you allow your brain to see it, right? Whatever you believe in, a higher source, you know, God, the universe, whatever it is, everything has a purpose. Everything here is here for a reason. And there is goodness in it all if we choose to see it and feel it and notice it. And so my offer here is for you to consider the opportunities and the gifts in any situations versus seeing the challenges. The challenges are here. The setbacks are here. The difficulties are here, 100%. But they are all here for a reason. That's certainly what I believe. And there is some goodness, there is some learning, there is some giving, there is something for us to find in those challenges. So find the goodness in the good and find the goodness in the not so good, right? And indulge in that. So G is for goodness. I is for intuition. Intuition. And this is about listening, right, to your intuition. To cultivate abundance, you have to go within and you have to go within your body, right? Kind of get out of your head and into your heart. And access your intuition. Your intuition is your inner wisdom, right? It's your inner guidance, your inner compass, right? You know more than you think, right? You are stronger than you believe. You are braver than you know. And my offer here is to ask yourself, what does my heart say? Right? Whenever you want to access your intuition, you can actually find your heart, and that means just putting your hands on it, taking a few deep breaths, and actually saying, asking yourself, what does my heart say? Right? Practice tuning into your heart, tuning into your intuition, and really listening. Right? You have to listen, right? You can access your heart and then you could quickly move on. But my challenge to you is to access your heart and to listen, right? Listen to what comes up. And then you have a choice. You get to, action whatever came up for you in from your heart, or you get to action whatever your brain offered you or whatever you think you should be doing, right? That's your choice. So that's intuition. L is for letting go. Letting go. And this is about letting go of a few things, actually. Letting go of the outcome, right? To cultivate an abundance mindset, a mindset of abundance, you have to let go of the outcome, and let go of, being attached to the thing. And instead, just allow yourself to be, right? And you've heard it before. It's like, focus on the journey and not the destination. It's like really allowing yourself to let go of the outcome, let go of the result, let go of the thing, and just allow yourself to be here and find joy in this moment and find joy in that, detachment of I want A, B, or C. And also, I find actually a good thing here is letting go of any kind of stories that you have that prevents you from accessing that kind of inner goodness and that inner abundance in you. And you know what those stories are, right? Some of them will be familiar to you and they will be habitual, but some of them you may not even be aware of, right? And that's the beauty of doing this kind of inner work, introspection and mindset side of things, that you really can see some of those stories that don't fuel you in a good way, don't fuel that goodness in you. So let go of the outcome, let go of attachment to the thing, and let go of any stories that just don't serve you. And E is for energy of giving. And this is a big one, and I love this one. Energy of giving. Because I believe everything is energy, right? We're all connected. And when we adopt the energy of giving versus the energy of taking, no matter, how big or small way we give, the recipients gain, and therefore we gain, right? And it's just this beautiful exchange of energy, and I just love it. And like there are just simple ways of giving, right? And again, you've heard it before. It could just be smiling to a stranger. It could be reaching out to someone in need. It could be doing something you've not done before, but it's sharing your knowledge or story, or even giving your ear, right? Listening. Sometimes as humans, all we want is actually just someone to listen to us. We don't actually want any advice. We don't want any I told you so's or anything like that. We just want someone to hear us and someone to listen to. And we get to give that, right? So we get to give in a small scale and we get to give in a large scale in terms of what we're doing as business women, as entrepreneurs, in the work that we do, but we also to do it small scale. And I actually also like to think of it as whatever I love, I get to give to others. So that would be my question to you as well. What do you love that you want to give to others, that you could give to others? And actually, another beautiful kind of piece with the energy of giving is that it actually allows and enables you to be open to receiving, which I think is just so beautiful, because when we give, we're almost saying we're open to receiving, and it might not come back in the same way. It likelihood will come back in another way, but you are then open to receiving. And this cycle just keeps going of giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And I love it. So that's the energy of giving. That's my 5 simple and practical ways to adopt a mindset of abundance using the acronym A.G.I.L.E, which is appreciation, goodness focused and goodness in everything, intuition led, letting go of the outcome and attachment to the thing, and energy of giving. And you can always come back to this no matter where you find yourself. And the prompt I would give you is to ask yourself, what would an abundant person think? Right? You get to put that on a post-it or somewhere in front of you. What would an abundant person think? And you get to pause and kind of breathe, access your intuition, put your hand on your heart, connect within and find those thoughts. Find those abundant thoughts and feel into them. Like really bring them up for you. Let them radiate in your body. Really feel them and then fuel them. Fuel them by taking action from that place, right? From that place of abundance. And then you get to be that person because you are abundant already, right? We are abundant already. We just have to access it, right? This is our work. This is our work. And this is what I call heart work as opposed to homework. For you to take away, right? Access the abundance in you, which is there already. I know it. I know it, know it, know it. Finally, here's a thought for you to take away and practice. And it is one that I worked on a lot early on in my business. As I found myself in a little bit of kind of this not enoughness. And it is this: I have everything I need already. I have everything I need already. And what I don't will come to me when I need it. I have everything I need already. And what I don't will come to me when I need it. It's one for you to take away and practice if that serves you. And I'll share, as Buddha said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become, right? So if you think of abundance, you will become abundance. Totally available to you whenever you need, my lovely. So that's our class today. But if you like this and you want to go deeper into this work, finding yourself and fueling your purpose, you can join Be the Energy, which, as I say, is my online group coaching program. What do we do there? You get coaching for life, right? You get me and my brain for life. Plus, you get access to training like this. We have a whole hub of training. We do weekly meditation, and you get a community of like-minded, beautiful souls on this path of goodness too. So if you're interested, you can find out more at namishapatelowen.com/be the energy. In fact, let me, I can drop that in the chat if that's helpful, which you might have it already. And yeah, if you have any questions about that, you can also drop me a line for sure. And I would love to hear from you if you do have any questions. And as a thank you and a gift for being here today, I will offer you some incentive. So come and let me know if you're interested, and I will let you know what I'm up for. So that is the class today. Next week, 2nd of March, we are talking about 4 things the uncontrolled mind does. And that is another acronym for you that I'm going to share. So be sure to be there. In the meantime, fill yourself up, journal on anything that came to you, ask yourself those questions, and be sure to remember the acronym AGILE and use it and practice it in your day and your week to come. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I'm super grateful for you. Thank you.